Hi, and welcome to Happy Fisherman Adventures.
I hope, I dream, I wish to catch a big fish, and I do it when I can. I'm a happy fisherman, and I do it when I can. I'm a happy fisherman.
It's all the little 1%ers. If you've got a fish of a lifetime, you want to make sure... Oh, it's buckled! They're on double. Oh, Jesus. Oh, there's a bit of drag on that, son, eh? There's a bit of drag on that one. Yeah.
What's today's date, is it?
I think the 18th of September, isn't it?
Yeah.
I never know what month or date it is.
Yeah. We're in Port Phillip Bay.
G'day guys, Justin here, out fishing with Reedy in Port Phillip Bay. It's September and we're gearing up for snapper season, obviously. A couple of little pointers for the viewers. We've got this bit of a theory that where you find a lot of reef very close in and shallow, so that sort of 4 to 5 metre mark, and then you find that there's quite a sharp drop off to like 7 metres, and it sort of runs quite a bit of a rim right around Port Phillip Bay, is a really good migratory zone for the snapper, particularly early season as they head up the bay, up north, and then they sit on structure and they mate and spawn and do all their thing. Early season, that can be a really great zone to fish, particularly on a running tide. So as the tide's running in, you can fish the whole tide, you can set up the rods and bait them up as we suggested in the 101 vid today, and that is a great zone for you getting those migratory fish. If you're someone that doesn't have a lot of marks or hasn't got a lot of experience, that can be a really great idea to anchor in that sort of that 7-8 metre zone, and they'll use those contour lines to really use the current to their effective, to most effective to get up the bay and head to ultimately where they're going to spawn, feed up and be on different sorts of structure, stuff. So if you don't have those marks, that's a great zone to go to. We've done okay this morning, luckily. Yeah. So yep. I think your theory is pretty sound, eh, Brady? Right, so let's talk about fishing for snapper in Port Phillip Bay and the way how we set our rod spread. So what's really important is the rods that are direct out 90 degrees to the boat and the forward most position, and they're the rod that you put down first, and that is the Reedy's Ultra Rig, generally in a 5/0 scallop or a Lumo. I really like the Lumo. And they just go straight up and down with a pilchard head or a silver whiting head or a little strip of squid, and they can just bounce on the bottom all day. We'll then cast out diagonally, and each cast we do, we set the rod to the innermost position each time. And we have 3 rods, and you can see the 3 rods set this way. So they are snelled rigs, or what you'd call a running rig. And then we always check the bait from the inside most rod. So we wind that one up, we can recast it out, we move each of these down, and they'll naturally lay down and you don't get any tangles. The only time that you might get a tangle is if you get a rubbish fish or a snapper goes through all 3 of them. If that happens, hopefully you keep the fish happy days, who cares? But that's the best way to keep it tangle free. And you'll find that the lines will naturally lay with the current. So we've got more rods on this side than we do on the other side, because the current's running in, so the rods are laying a lot better on this side. And that's how we set up our rods. So here we have a 40-pound 5/0 Reedy's snelled rig. These rigs are fantastic out of the packet. It's always good to have them done and have some on board. And the reason is because if the snapper are going pretty hard, then and you've got some tangles or something's busted off, you can just rip them out of the pack rather than tie them up. But they're fantastic.
Edge of the pool noodle.
Yeah, well, you can actually tie them onto and hook them onto a pool noodle. So, you can buy these pre-made, or you can just make them yourself and grab some Reedys from your favourite tackle shop and stick them in the pool noodle and have them ready to go. So we've got 40-pound leader here, which is plenty for Port Phillip Bay. It's probably close to a metre or a metre 2. All right, guys, so we're just talking about a typical snapper combo here. And what I like to use is a rod that has one piece. It's nice and easy to use, and has a nice taper to it. So nice soft tip. Because particularly I believe that when snapper coming in early season, they can just mouth the bait, and if they feel like a stiff rod tip and they feel that weight straight away, they might spit the bait. Now, I know Reedy behind the camera, you do like a stiff rod, but you're using the same ones as me at the moment. They tend to be going okay. So what we have here is just a Shimano 741 Revolution, so 7'4" one piece, hence the code 741, and a Shimano Saragossa 5000, and that's just got Maxima IGFA 10 kilo line or Momoi 10 kilo line, which is a 20-pound line, but being IGFA rated, it has less stretch and it doesn't tend to ping you off as much as some of those bulk spool cheaper lines do. So fantastic combo. You can high stick them, so it's good for the kids or someone who doesn't really fish that much, and they have a really nice bend on them. You don't need to go too hard. Set your drag settings pretty light, so we don't have a lot of drag set today. It's probably, I don't know, a kilo for pressure there, and you know, if the fish then run, you can let them have a bit of a run, wind into it, get a good hook set, and then just play the fish as you normally would.
So here we are, we're just sounding. I've got the Lowrance and I've got the 165 high wide, and all I'm doing is just slowly driving around. And what I'm looking for, if you zoom, can you zoom in here, Justin? So you see this graph here? I want an arch to be, I want a really solid arch that's a metre, and this is my reference. And I want an arch to be nearly a metre, and I want a thick arch as well. You don't need a high-powered transducer in Port Phillip Bay. You only, a 600 watt is fine. And the Lowrances work great straight out of the box. There's my settings. The source is a 165. Sensitivity I've got on -1 at the moment, and I just move that up and down. This pallet here, pallet 13 gives you a different, so I can see the growth on the bottom because I've used pallet 13. Look, to be honest, it's a great tool, a sounder, but nothing beats having your bait in the water early season. Look, here we go, here's some bait. That's some bait. But with the 165 high wide, the transducer has a 30-degree beam on it, and because the beam's so wide, the arches come back really wide. So you've got to take that into consideration when you're sounding for snapper. And I'll be honest, early season I don't sound a lot for snapper. Later when they're like in November, late October, I sound a hell of a lot. But this time of year, the fish are migrating, so it's sort of, I don't know, I tend to just know where I've caught them before in the past, and I know there's about 4 different locations throughout the bay. There's 4 different, say, lines. So if you look at a big map of Port Phillip Bay, and you look at where those channels are up at Mud Island, and you line them up with up in the city, there's sort of 4 lines where they'll come in, and it's different every year. So we've caught fish back at that spot there, and I know if I go back there tomorrow, I'm going to be a really good chance to get more fish. And going back to the areas where you've caught fish over previous years at the same time is better than any sounder or anything you can get. Your diary and your records of your history of when you caught what where is better than anything. And sometimes you just got to wait and be patient.
Alright guys, so here's a little bit of a early season snapper tip. Because they're not feeding very hard and pretty uncommitting, what we want to do is we want to track them, and not so much with burley that feeds them, we want to track them with some scent. So here's a bit of a trick. So you go down to the burley pot, we've just got mulched up pilchard, and you know, that's not giving them any pieces to eat, it's giving them a bit of scent really. But here's another really cool trick here. Here's your old Jiffy sponge, I don't know, 10 cents at the $2 shop. You just punch it in the top there, the good old Wilson tuna oil, and that sponge will soak all that up beautifully. Now this has obviously been in the boat for a little bit, this one.
Just tip it in there.
Yeah, just soak it up. And that sponge is going to soak all that up and just let it out. Now, obviously, some people drill holes in bottles and whatever, but you don't need to use that much. And it's really hard to make a floating bottle sink to the bottom. Yeah, so you must lower it all the way to the bottom because that's where the snapper are if they're going to be eating. They're feeding off the bottom. So I'm just changing a bait here, Reedy, but I think just to put things into perspective, early season, you've got to really set your expectations right. Like we all love coming out and banging snapper, right? And I mean like when they're buckling and going crazy and all that sort of stuff, we all love it. But early season, it can be a bit tough. So if you get one good school fish, be happy with that, you know, because you might need to do a lot of moves or, you know, go through a lot of baits to get that happening, and that's okay. So, you know, we've got a couple of fish today and we're pretty happy. We're going to fish out the rest of the tide. And look at that beautiful Port Phillip Bay gar. We're going to absolutely send it. And there we go. Fingers crossed. So Reedy, we're just checking the baits. It's really good to get some bait movement. You can sometimes stir up a bit of activity with snapper. But just while we're checking the baits, what you'll find is the early season, the bite can be right through the entire tide and quite inconsistent. The other thing is that they tend to mouth baits. Like in November, December, after they're spawning, they literally smash. You get the buckles and it's on for young and old. Happy days, right, when we all experience that. But early season, they can actually just hold the bait in their mouth, go for a run, as we've experienced this morning, and as soon as they feel any line pressure, just spit the bait. So what's really important early season is don't necessarily get the rush of blood to the head and strike into that fish straight away. Sometimes let it have a run. You could still lose the fish, there's no doubt about that. Early season, they can be very uncommittal to the bait, so don't be afraid to let it have a run. Don't put too much pressure on the fish, because if they've hit it side on, you can crunch your silver whiting, you pilch in half and they haven't picked up those hooks, you're as good as done and dusted. So take it easy early season. So we know that fishing's been a little bit patchy today. What's interesting is that they haven't gone on consistent baits today, so they're not all on squid or all on silver whiting. We had a really good mixture of baits. So in our 8-rod spread here, we actually have silver whiting, freshly caught garfish. Reedy, you've just put out a yakka chunk, and we've got some fresh squid. So it's really important to have the smorgasbord. Certainly when the fish are more aggressive, they'll pretty much pilchard and silver, absolutely, and we'll just go really hard on that. But don't be afraid to pull out that frozen yakka, even a salmon chunk. You just don't know what they're going to go on. And if you can find that consistency, it might help you have a really great day. And then just make sure the hook is running through the gill plate. And then just a little half hitch. Sure, the scales are off the hook points, but they are very sharp. And when that snapper comes along, he's going to golf that at the head. And that second hook, you might get them in the tummy, the gill plate, or you might even get it in the gob. That's a beautiful little silver whiting ready to go, Reedy. Love it. I know a lot of people think I'm crazy because I believe the hooks are a disposable item. If I've been out fishing and putting in the same rig in different baits all day, in tough frozen baits, at the end of that fishing day, that line I keep in a bag and it goes down to the recycling bin at my local Complete Angler store, but the hooks, they go out in the trash. And the reason is that it's all the little 1%ers. If you've got a fish of a lifetime, you want to make sure, oh, it's buckled! They're on double. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Reedy. It's a big fish. This one's tiny. It's got to be close now.
He's good enough. What do you call, how big do you reckon?
I don't know. These rods have got a lot of give in them. Hey, they've got a beautiful curve to them.
Oh, I'm shaking. my leg. Oh yeah, he's a good fish.
Yeah. Oh, we're not complaining.
We are not complaining.
That is a very good fish, Reedy. Oh, not a bad fish. I was going to say a schoolie. Look at that. Look at that. Hey?
Right.
On the old 187 4Os, mate.
Yeah, hey? He's a good. I'll get a good photo in a second for you. I know there's more fish here. Let me just get this rod out. But I'll be.
Oh, Reedy, that's good. What bait's that on?
Pilchard. Oh, or yeah, no, it's it might be gar.
Yeah, it might be gar.
We've got some fresh gar. And we're just having a wave of fish come through because we're not moving around. We found a line where we catch him in September. He's off.
You learnt the hard way big time today, mate, because you lost probably a season, like it's not a season opener, but it was a decent fish. Like I've not seen a run like that in a snapper before in Port Phillip Bay. So not me. I know you have, but yep. You can see here it's twisted, and if you actually feel it, you can feel that it feels like lumpy and consistently lumpy, and that means the line is deteriorating. So it's not probably from a lot of use and a bit of UV and salt water, but that is a good reason why monofilament, it does deteriorate. You've got to change it every snapper season. It's not expensive to do, but that is why, because I can tell you right now, if I put just a little bit more pressure on that, that would just go ping. So lost fish. A lot of people don't realise that you've got to get these serviced every 12 months. You can send them back to Shimano, or Dazza's Reel Servicing over my way does a fantastic job with Dazza. Yeah, it's not expensive to do, and it'll last a lifetime if you do that, because you've got to make sure your drags are good, because if your drags get notchy or fail you, Dazza's Reel Servicing, he's actually done a few reels that I've taken up for you before, at Manford and stuff. He does a great job, and
Put a link in the description.
Link in the description. Yeah, he's a Facebook page. Yeah. So yeah, he's a lovely man, and he does a lot of reel servicing, and he's very, very good.
But it's not even pulling. It is a snapper.
Barely got it. Bring it in, Reedy. That just shows the importance of what we were talking before about sharp hooks, eh, Reedy?
Yeah.
Look at that, through the skin.
On the 187s.
They are deadly sharp, and that's proof.
And that's
a keeper snapper.
He is. Now see how he's hooked him there? That's because he's mouthed the bait, and the hooks, he swam off from the bait, and it's just hooked him. So they're real funny this time of year.
That's a good fish, Reedy. Oh, there's a bit of drag on that, son, eh? There's a bit of drag on that one.
Yeah. I just gotta get.
This is that big chunk of squid too, eh?
Yeah.
Might look in a minute.
Yeah. I can't believe what just happened to the old. We should have 3, man.
I know. That lobster needs to go down all the way too.
Yeah. Because they come.
Oh, back.
Yeah, let it go, let it go.
Oh, it didn't go, Reedy.
There it is.
There it is. Go. It's left-hander.
Oh no, he's not on. Yeah, he's big. He's big, Justin. They don't pull that much. Good fish, you reckon?
No, not that big. Not as big as the next one.
Oh, I reckon you'll be surprised.
Surprised. Oh. It's another line.
Alright, so that's, I didn't have another one. That's just on the other line. Alright. Can you deal with that?
Yeah,
I want to get an ultra rig down. That might be a gummy, mate.
It could be. It feels a bit gummy-ish. I can't go too hard on it though, hey?
What bait did you have?
That was silver whiting on the old scallop. The old scallop. Just don't want to high stick it, but...
Care about the fish?
A good day, but a patchy day. We've had to work hard. Feels like a gummy. I might just get that one.
Free sport. It's free sport.
Yeah, free sport.
We thought it
was a...
Bring him up so we can have a look. I think that's us done for the day.
I'd say so, mate.
So it wasn't a gummy, and that's probably why we're not getting the snapper bites.
I'm just going to break him off.
Let's try and bring him up to the camera. It's good.
Look, some people do. If you want to, bleed it and then freeze it.
It gets the ammonia out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. They are a bit mushy. Look, I fully endorse anyone that wants to take one for a feed. So it means there's one less for me to catch. But people do like them. But look, this is only a 6 kilo rod. It's handling it pretty well.
That's a big killer.
No.
That's probably why the snapper have shut down.
Yep.
And that will be our day today.
Yeah, well the tide's changed now, so look at the mess that's made.
We're going to have some fun cleaning it up.
What a beautiful Melbourne day, but patchy fishing, but that's okay. We've still got, what, 3 good snapper. It was hard work, but we got them.
Should have 4.
Should have had 4 or 5, but we lost a few. That's okay, that happens. Oh, he's coming back, Reedy.
Is he really?
He's coming back. I'm pulling him in. Doesn't want to leave us.
And we persisted, and look, we didn't get lucky on the tide change, but...
No, you know what? These things happen, but this guy, we were hoping he was a gummy, but he's killed our tide change bite, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that's just what happens.
He would have spooked the snapper away.
Absolutely.
Is he coming back, is he?
Yeah, I'm going to just cut him off.
Try and bring that line with us.
Yeah, we don't want to leave any unessential line.
Oh, there he is. G'day, mate. How are you? Oh, off you go. There he is. There's the scallop rig.
That's your Port Phillip Bay standard.
On the Ultra rig.
On the old Ultra Dog.
Do the big kick. All right.
There you go.
See you, mate.
Well, he's earned some jewellery. And
Thanks for watching.
thanks for watching. That's all, folks.
Yep. Good morning. Welcome to Mornington. Look how low the tide is. There's no water there. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. But we're just launching in off Mornington, and I reckon we'll be lucky to get out. Today we're in September. We're in Port Phillip. Today I'm fishing with Justin. G'day. We're not going to really go sound for the fish today. We're going to just go and park up somewhere.
Thanks for your support again, and we see you on the water.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and we will see you next time.
I hope, I dream, I wish to catch a big fish, and I do it when I can. I'm a happy fisherman, and I do it when I can. I'm a happy fisherman.